Testing, testing, testing. Doing my GIF as always. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll do this one. Starting stream a bit early. Going back for some more storyboard work. I rechecked some of the games I played and combining some that I played for a short time during the stream. I'm declaring that I have played 99 games. 100 game anniversary tomorrow. And then let's copy and paste. Copy and paste as normal. I spelled combining wrong. Combining. Okay. And that I'm going to take off the beginning. So we're going to get that hashtag VTuber Did anybody see Meat Canyon as a VTuber? It was horribly scary. But if you know of him, try to find it. Because it was disturbing. Or it is disturbing. It's still disturbing. Alright, pinned to my profile. And there. And that. I gotta resituate and make a lot of these screens tiny. Because my one screen is tiny. And I have 2 screens if I call my tablet a screen. You don't. Alright. Yeah. You don't.
Shark Attack 4 Revenge of the
You don't want me to.
The story.
You don't want me to learn?
Which is a variation on Jaws made in Korea. The sharks had a baby.
What else you got
going on?
On?
In the fourth shark attack, the boat attacks back.
What other?
I need to get as much of this done as I can during the trial period. Now I was gonna do like some tutorials during this, like recording them and maybe post them on a new channel, but I don't trust the sound bites coming in during them, so I might not do that. But I am gonna continue learning, so we're gonna get some more stuff learning today. Stuff learning today. I sound like a moron. So that's going to be tonight. Tomorrow is going to be the 100th game I've played this year anniversary. It's completely insane. What I'm doing is I actually am combining like a bunch of games I played for. Like I played for 10 minutes in the stream and then stopped, either because like it was crashing or the game just wasn't vibing with me. And so I've declared that I've basically played 99 games. I got 99 problems. Um, and so tomorrow I will be playing the first game I ever played on a stream, and I played it without any sound, and I'll have movement. Don't worry, I don't have movement on this one because of how much the software takes up like space. But let's get into it. We have interface, paths, scripts, captions, drawing, and color. Bam, bam, bam. I gotta remember how I did this last time. Adding color swatches. I remember this was something I need to write down. I got a whole new thing of sticky notes. They want me to memorize like every way to do something. So I don't know if you've had like Photoshop or even like Microsoft Word or Google Docs, some kind of software. How it's super easy to do like a shortcut key, you know, like a copy and paste with the Control C, Control V. And that's something I can do easily with like the right mouse button or the pen. But I have to learn all of the complicated ways to get to something that's very simple as well. So that's something that's been a little difficult. Let me see. How to change color swatches in detailed box, because that's the one thing I've been stuck on, but I'm just moving past it. Is I've been stuck on how to get color swatches. Swatches? Um, anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's a problem for me for another day and another time. But for right now, so I've done all of this crap. Oh, I didn't even answer the question. How do you create a new texture swatch? Go to the color swatch menu, select a new. Let me make sure that I am signed in. I think I'm signed in. Click on how do you add a new texture swatch? Go to the current color swatch and swatch to gradient. Check the color swatch menu and select new texture from your file. And that has to be it. I didn't read it. That's the only one that makes sense there. Okay. Painting. We've done this before.
Paint tool in Storyboard Pro.
Oh yeah.
Go to the Tools toolbar and select
Is this Kim?
which is this paint bucket, or go to the top menu and select Tools, Paint, or use a keyboard shortcut listed beside.
Yeah, see, like that, like I have to do super complicated, or I can just do a right click on the, let's see, is it here? Yeah. Or I can just do like a little click of my pen and get right to it, which is the easy way, but I know they're going to want me to learn all the ways. So that's something I have to keep in my mind, like, you know, come on, Yuri, you got to learn even the complicated dumb ways.
Paint bucket, or go to the top menu and select Tools.
Why would you do that?
Or use a keyboard shortcut listed beside.
Okay.
So painting is as easy as selecting a swatch.
Yes, got the color.
Section.
Pick your color, do your thing.
Change the color a bit, and then clicking on the close zone of a drawing in the stage.
How easy.
So right away we can see that the eye was not a closed zone, so it allowed paint to come in. If you'd like to avoid that problem, what you can do is from the Tools property panel of the Paint tool, you can click on this button here, which is the Close Gaps button, and select perhaps something like Close Large Gap. The tolerance for the gap can be changed in the field beside, either by using the slider double-headed arrow, or by typing one in.
Ooh, does this mean it closes the gaps on its own? Damn!
Panel for the Paint tool is whether you want to have
damn!
And select perhaps something like Close Large Gap. The tolerance for the gap can be changed in the field beside, either by using the slider that appears when you click on the double-headed arrow, or by typing one in directly. Now if you try to paint the same zone, you'll see that it doesn't fill in the eye. So the first property in the Tools property panel for the Paint tool is whether you want to have a marquee or a lasso for your cursor. With the marquee tool, you can paint both the line and a zone, so basically anything that is within the marquee frame. You can do the same thing with the lasso tool and in fact make a more precise selection. The next selection allows you to choose between the regular paint tool or the paint unpainted or the unpaint tool. So the paint unpainted allows you to very quickly paint zones that have not been painted yet.
She talked way too fast. Walked way too fast.
Or a lasso for your cursor. With the marquee tool,
she's got to slow her ass down.
Now if you try to paint the same zone, you'll see that it doesn't fill in the eye.
Yes, that's a big deal.
In the tools property panel for the paint
that
tool
is
whether you want to have a marquee or a lasso for your cursor. With the marquee tool, you can paint both the line and a zone, so basically anything that is within the marquee frame.
We don't want that.
You can do the same thing with the lasso tool and in fact make a more precise selection. The next selection allows you to choose between the regular paint tool, the paint unpainted, or the unpaint tool. So the paint unpainted allows you to very quickly paint zones that have not been painted yet. So if we just quickly hide Selena's spacesuit and we change
what did she
to
say?
the
Paint
marquee,
unpaint?
the paint tool, or the paint unpainted, or the unpaint tool. So the paint unpainted allows
Paint
you
unpainted.
to very quickly paint zones that have not been painted yet.
That makes
so
sense.
Quickly hide Selena's spacesuit and we
now it's just her beautiful face.
marquee. Now with the paint unpainted,
yes.
I can select her whole head, but the lines will not get painted because they were
paint unpainted is painting the unpainted.
Filled in any other zone that did not have paint in it.
It makes sense.
The unpaint tool, of course, does the opposite. If I select all of this, though, everything will disappear because it'll unpaint both the black lines and the zones.
Shoot.
You can use the marquee tool just like the lasso tool to click into specific regions, so that also will unpaint specific areas.
Unpaint and paint. I got it.
And go back to the regular paint tool.
Okay.
The next option is the Apply to Visible Drawings button. So if I click this and I turn on Selena's costume again, you have to notice that the zone for her helmet and the zone where her face is
different.
So if I decide to click on her helmet layer and then click in the center of both these two zones, you'll see that they're both painted. And we know this because we can see it here in the thumbnail view. Even if I hide her spacesuit, you can see that her face was still painted because it was directly underneath the same zone as the helmet.
So we can't have that mess.
And I'll undo that as well. So the next options apply to bitmap layers, which we don't have any of here. So I'll create one.
Let's see. Come on, say your name again. Apply to visible drawing layer. Select drawings across all visible layers in the camera view. Okay, I have to double check on what that means. So let's add 3 of these. Let's get rid of it. I am sorry. Actually, let me see. Oh, is it delete one? Merge down, share, delete layers. Okay. So this one, gotta get my brush. There we go. Okay. So we're going to make this bigger. That is such a beautiful circle. I actually did pretty okay. I think I did pretty okay. All right, and then, so we're gonna have to slide this paint bucket tool. Slide this guy. Hello, little guy. I know I got you all crammed in here, but this is the only place I can put you. Okay, so painting, and then let's paint using a nice kind of icy blue. Okay, paint, easy. Color properties, unpaint, easy. Can I unpaint that? Yes, but I want to keep it. All right, Paint, unpaint. Paint, unpainted. Okay. So then let me make sure I get this right. So let's go back to the brush. Let's draw. Oh no, I want to go back to black. Let's get all the way down. There we go. Gonna draw a circle there. Ooh, this is like those oh, what's that called? The calligraphy. It reminds me of calligraphy. There. Little box. Look at him. All right. And then so let's go back here. Paint. Paint unpainted. Then we're going to do marquee. Let's change it to a blue. Tools. This. That. Okay. We got that. Now it's only going to paint the objects. Okay. It will not paint the background. So if I do that, bam. Okay, now if I go back, if I do this right, and I do this again, yes, it won't do it. It'll only do it to the ones not painted. Perfect. So far, so good. What was that second part she talked about? Oh, the layers. Okay. Let's hide this. Let's get this back to black. Go to the brush. Let's draw a triangle and another circle and another square. And then with this one, circle, square, triangle. All right. So I think we got it there. There. Let me see if I should be able to unpaint this. Tools, paint bucket, unpaint with this tool. Uh-oh. I took everything out. Okay. Got it. But if I paint, it's not gonna do the background. Okay. So we got that. We got all that mess right now. Look at that beautiful mess. That's a beautiful mess. That's a beautiful mess. All right, since that is a beautiful mess, I am going to now what was that last part right here? So let's do a paint. Let's do a blue again. I'm gonna paint the top. Okay, and the top layer that's it. Now let me see. That's one of them. Yeah, so it's not gonna do it unless I'm on that layer. Makes sense. Okay. Tool property. Now let's see. There. Want the top. Actually, yeah, it's all good. Okay, so I have painting from the layers down. Okay, so that means if I do that, or am I able to just kind of draw straight through? Okay. Now, can I do it when they are hidden? Okay, so we're hiding it. We're going to paint there. Nope. All right. But if I have that and I have that, I got the top layer. If I click it, do that. I got the top layer and I got the second layer. Okay. So when that is clicked, I basically can color straight through. I see. Easy. So easy. All right, that better be like the...
Quickly by clicking on the Add Bitmap Layer button from the Layers toolbar. And then what I'm going to do is just quickly select the
Add
brush
bitmap.
tool.
Brush. Okay, add
Create
bitmap.
2 different squares.
Same
So
brush.
I'm going to create one with 2 different texture brushes.
She's doing the shape technique like I did.
And actually for this example, I need a second color for the fill.
How could she treat us like that?
Maybe something like that. And then I'm going to zoom in a bit. So
yes.
that you can at least see these examples.
So let's see these textures.
Panel, what I'm going to do is bring all the sliders down.
Okay.
For the bitmap options to start like that. So I'm going to fill these 2 rectangles.
Yes.
And right away we see something funny. We see
a mess
separating the fill from its outline, and this is in both cases.
How could
this
you?
Has something to do with the alpha. So if I undo that,
the alpha,
and I increase the alpha, and I repaint these layers, you'll see that automatically something has happened.
So the alpha takes control more of the space.
The outline. So the alpha has something to do with how many transparent pixels there are between a bitmap fill and its bitmap outline. So I'm going to
transparent pixels.
So now if we look at the maximum overlap and we increase it, let's say to the maximum, and we fill these 2 rectangles, something else has occurred, and that's that not only does the color meet the border surrounding
but it goes over some of the purple.
Got it. Sometimes coming quite far in and over the edges of that border to create a nicer blend. Because if you remember, even with the alpha being higher, you still see kind of a weird white border going around.
So we need that overlap.
And here you can see that there's kind of like white holes or spots around the border as well. So that maximum overlap is the overlap between
let's get that overlap.
These 2 colors and how much allowance there is for an overlap. So the color tolerance only really takes effect when you're repainting a zone. So if I select a different color. And then fill in these zones one more time. You'll see that you'll see the previous color that was there before. So it did do a very good job repainting that zone. And that's because the tolerance right now is extremely low. It's 0. If we then undo that again and increase the color tolerance to the maximum.
Color tolerance.
Try that again. You'll see that the blending looks
color tolerance changes.
The final option is the anti-aliasing. So let me
what's anti-alias?
So that you can see the best example here. And maybe even bring the alpha down a bit. So right now there's anti-aliasing applied to this fill. So even though you can kind of see some jagged pixely lines, relatively speaking, they're not that bad. There's sort of a softening going on. So if I
anti-alias, that softens it up, correct?
And
I think it does.
Inside of that rectangle, now you'll see what happens when there is no anti-aliasing, and that's that there is quite a jagged edge with these little
anti-alias. Smooth it out. Anti-alias smooths it out. Smooths out. Let's get... What does the closed gap allow you to do? It allows you to add a visible line in order to close small gaps in order to paint the interior of the shape if it has a large gap. Allows you to add an invisible line in order to close small gaps. Paint the interior of a shape even if it has... No, it's that one. Where are the paint unpaint tools found? On the paint tool properties. Alt. Let me see. Is that Alt L? Where is? Let me see. Is it Alt L? Alt L. Control L. Alt I. Yeah. Okay. Is that supposed to be an I? All the above. the tools to, where is the paint, unpaint, and unpaint tools? Tool toolbar. Yeah, I'm saying all the above. Yay. Okay. Importing images.
You can import a variety of different images into Storyboard Pro, including both bitmap and vector. Some of these file types include AI, PDF, JPEG, PNG, and PSD files, just to name a few. So to
you
import
get
an image,
Photoshop
you have to go to
files.
the library panel.
Library.
And click on one of these folders in the library.
Any.
So I'm going to click on templates, characters,
Yes.
and then right-click on characters and select import files. The import files browser window appears that allows you to browse throughout your computer to find the file that you're looking for. And if you go to the bottom, you can see that it also lists all the various file types that you're able to import. So I'm going to click on this file, Selena, which is a PNG file.
Selena's looking good.
And as you can see, it now appears in the characters folder of the library view. So I can click on the Selena PNG image.
I don't know why I'm watching this. This one's an easy one.
In my project, and as you can see, it's been imported into that panel.
This one is an easy one.
By going to the file menu at the top and selecting import images as scenes. A browser window appears, allowing you to navigate to some place on your computer where you have an image file. And as you can see, the image has been imported as its own scene. Another thing you can do is go back to the file menu and select import image as layers. Once again, the browser window appears. You can select your image, click open, and now you can see that, in fact, there are two Selenas. So one was used to create the scene, while the other was imported into a layer of the selected scene.
Okay, one can make a whole scene, one can make just the layer. And that would be under, what was it, import scenes. Ooh, video clips. No, let me see it one more time. Import images as scenes, images as layers. Alright, we're going there. We're clicking open. Which of these file formats are not supported? Oh dear. Isn't there? Oh, it's all the way over there. I know PNG. Let's look up. PNG is there. PSD, I remember that. PSD is there. TGA. Is TGA not? Let's see. GIF. Is GIF up there? Uh-oh. TV. TGA. Poor GIF. GIF doesn't know nothing about nothing. About onion skinning. Using an onion skin, it can display the outlines of the previous and next panels as semi-transparent. Overlays the current panel is to use as a reference to your artwork. Previous panel is red. Next panel is green.
To access the onion skin feature in Storyboard Pro, you can go to the onion skin toolbar at the top and click on the onion skin button.
Okay, there's
also access the onion skin feature
red
by going to the top menu and selecting View, Onion Skin, Show Onion Skin.
View onion skin. Let me see if I can do it with my pen. See, camera, maintain size. Okay, I cannot do it through there. So I have to use that little tool, or I believe she said view, onion skin, show onion skin. Okay. So far, so good.
Or using the keyboard shortcut listed beside. As you can see, a red and green image appear, and these represent the drawings from the
red is previous, green is in front.
So the green colored image represents the drawing in the next panel, whereas the red colored image represents the drawing in the previous panel.
Easy.
And the reason that we see the red in solid colors is because there's a white fill to these drawings. So were I to delete this white fill from each of these three layers, you can now see that the onion skinning shows more of an outline with the gray shadow, but it doesn't have that solid colored green or red because I deleted that fill. So obviously lines and fills and the darkness of lines and fills affect how you see the onion skinning. If you decide that you don't like the color red to represent the previous drawing and green to represent the next drawing, you can always change these colors by going to the preferences, by going to the top menu and selecting Storyboard Pro, Preferences if you're using Mac, or Edit Preferences if you're using Windows. And then from the Preferences panel in the Colors tab, you can go to the onion skin color before and onion skin color after
I
swatches,
would not.
to change those colors.
I would not
So
change those colors.
Change the color here. Click OK, and then click OK from the Preferences dialog box. In order to change the number of previous previous drawings that you see and next drawings that you
Yes.
see, you have to go to these little drop-down menus in the onion skin toolbar. So the first one,
Next
red,
to
represents the
onion
drawings
skin.
that were before, and right now we only have previous panel selected. However, you could have no previous panel selected, which eliminates from view the drawing in the panel previous, or you can do the opposite and have up to 3 panels before. And the reason that it doesn't show up is because
Okay,
onion scanning
let's...
opposite and have up to 3 panels. Previous drawings that you see and next drawings that you see, you have to go to these little drop-down menus in the onion skin toolbar. So the first one, red, represents the drawings that were before, and right now we only have previous panel selected. However, you could have no previous panel selected,
Yes.
which eliminates from view
Okay.
the drawing in the panel previous, or you can do the opposite and have up to 3 panels before. And the reason that it doesn't show up is because the onion scanning feature works only for the panels of that scene.
Oh,
So for example, there are only 3 panels in this scene, and the onion scanning feature will not show you what's in the scene before or in the next scene. So if we actually scroll through our project to these panels right here of
Okay.
scene 20, there are actually a lot more. So it's actually 9, which will make it a better example. So if I click on this panel right here, you'll start to see that it's possible to see more than one previous drawing. And let me just turn off the next drawing feature, so we're just paying attention to one color for now. And as I move down the line, you'll notice right away that this light explosion became paler. So here it's a bit darker and here it's a bit paler. And that's because in order to differentiate between the panels that are previous, and this also, of course, works for the next panels as well, the color progressively washes out. So if this explosion of light is only 1 panel away, it's slightly darker. However, by panel 7, this light explosion panel is 2 panels away, so it's slightly paler. And what we see here in darker red is the arm from the panel just prior. The last thing I'd like to talk about is this icon right here that appears on all the layers when the onion skin is enabled. So were I to disable the onion skin, you'll notice that the icon has disappeared. And one more thing that I need to do to make this example more clear
got
is
that
re-enable all the
arm
background
and
layers.
foot.
So if we go back to the panel that was previously selected, which was panel 7 of 9,
Okay.
and we turn off its background layer from view, you'll notice that its background has turned white, despite the fact that the onion skinning should show the backgrounds of the 3 panels prior. But the reason that they are not being shown is because all of those backgrounds have been marked with that red icon. And this is way more efficient than going through these 9 panels and turning off all of the background layers. It's much easier just to mark them and then turn off the background layer from the panel that you're actually working on. And you can actually mark multiple layers as backgrounds. As long as all the layers of the scene are marked in the same way, then they will be excluded from the onion skin.
Okay,
And as
you can
see,
mark it,
marking a
little
layer
red
as
mark.
background is as easy as clicking on this icon to either have it marked or leave it unmarked.
Perfect. Then we may play the snowboarding game a little bit later, if need be, because I don't want to bore people. That's my one thing. Share and tag your friends. All right. Okay. I'm back. And then, let's see, should I do the snowboarding game? Now I've been putting this off. In the onion skin, the green color represents the drawings in the next panel. Current drawing, no nothing. It's an interesting task for me to commentate on taking tests. It's very interesting. How do you exclude the background from the onion skinning? Deactivate the invisibility. With the onion skin turned on, click on the button at the bottom left of the background layer to exclude it. With the onion, click on the lock button. I think the second one's right. Yes. Okay, got them both right. All right, do one of the following. In the onion skin toolbar, click on the Alt-0, select onion skin, show onion skin. So let's, I have 3 examples. Okay, so the first one I can do is just click on, I don't have, shoot. Let me see, can I just duplicate? Can I just duplicate it? Come on. I'm not sure if I can. Let's just have, okay, wait. Previous one is that. Let's Let's do this one. Let's do brush, color. Let's make it black. Let's make it, what is this here? This is some sort of character. I don't know what character it is. This could be one of those sexy anime characters. I think it looks pretty good. I think this is something someone would cosplay as. Okay, so that is the first one. And so there, this is middle. I gotta change the size of this brush. That feels better. All right. Middle. There we go. So then if I click this, that's the previous. If I click this, there's that. If I click that, all right. So then if I go like that, and now, so that was onion skinning one way. It said Alt O. Okay, Alt O. So that can be, what color is an onion? think it would be more, no, some are white, but I would think yellow is more appropriate than anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my own keycap. So I try to look for a custom keyboard, and first off, let me just turn this on so there's more action on the screen. So I try to buy my own keyboard. I'm like, oh, this will be, it'll be kind of expensive, but maybe I can afford it, if I'm able to have custom, because I've seen those keyboards that they have the letters are like different colors, and it's easier for your eye to kind of pick and choose where certain things are. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get a real basic one. And the most basic one I could find that you could customize the keys was like $180. Or I could get like the custom keycap set for like $50, and then I could buy like a keyboard, like a blank one, for, it was, moral of the story is that right now what I have done is I have used the sticky part of sticky notes to create like fake different colored keys, and then I'm using a pair of tweezers to gently put them on and move them around so that they fit, because some of them look like arrows, some of them are just covering the whole key, some of them are like covering half the key. It's a weird process. So right now I'm gonna see what happens if I hit the Alt key too many times. So let's try to push that on. Let's see to that. It's all right. I have it. Let's try it again. Let's try the onion. Push it down. Okay. I got it. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. I can only do so many of these sticky notes without my computer, without my keyboard, without me losing focus. And then, so... Okay. That's easy. And then O for onion. It looks like an onion. That's crazy. That's crazy town. Okay. View onion skin, show onion skin. When using onion skin, what's the maximum number of panels you can see before or after each panel? Okay, I do not know. That is something. How many? Does it say? Onion skin will only show frames of the same scene. I got that. How many can they do? Does it... I don't want to guess. Is it 3? I feel like I'm guessing. Well, I know I'm guessing. Next 2 panels. Previous 2 panels. Number of panels you can see before or after each panel. Before and after. Alright, this one's trying to be tricky. So if I have it, let's see here. So I have previous panel there. So previous 3 panels, and then next 3 panels. So that's 6. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's change each one so it has a number next to it. Brush here, there. Why won't you let me? Oh, I locked it? How could I do such a thing? So that's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. That's 6. Okay. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to say it's 5, but I don't know. What's the maximum number of panels you can see before and after each panel? 3? I think I'm all screwed up on that one. If I get it wrong, I get it wrong. Hey! Okay. We did it. We got it. Flipping through onion skin drawings. I was just doing that. Okay, how to flip through. You're ready for the next topic. Drag the panel left to see the previous. So let's go here. Let's see this. Okay. And then if I start there, there's nowhere else to go except down. Okay. Okay. It's not really the middle, but I'll take it. Click and hold the flip forward button to flip through panels, including the onion skin. Okay, is that letting me kind of animate through them? I guess so. I guess so. Let's see. Click and hold the flip forward to flip through all of the panels in the onion skin at an even pace. Ready for the next topic? I am. And so what I'm doing now is I have like ripped up sticky notes that I've placed on my table, and every time I get one done, I rip the sticky note off of my table, the little grippy bit, and I throw it in the trash. Super dramatically. Oh, activity. Activity. Activity it wants me to be. Well.
Hello everybody. My name is Kim, and in this video I'm going to
Oh,
be
it's
showing
Kim.
you how to use the onion skins
Yes, Kim.
on layers with the same name in Storyboard Pro. So here I am, I'm busy with my storyboard, and I'm actually drawing the characters in each of the panels that I have.
Looks like
in
a rhino.
this next panel, I want to be able to reference these characters because they're in the same position, but just the expressions are changing. So I go to my next panel, and I turn on my onion skin by pressing this button up here.
Yes.
But as you can see, it's not showing me much right now because it's actually showing me the onion skin for everything in my scene. So I wanted to show me just the onion skin of the layer that I'm working on. Now, as you can see, my layer that I'm working on is called char for character. If I go back to the previous panel, this is the layer I want to reference, and it's called exactly the same name as the one that I want to draw on.
And what do I gotta do?
Provided that your layers are named the same throughout your panels, if you press this button over here, toggle selected layers only, you'll see that it now only shows you the onion skin of the layers that have the same name as the layer you have selected. So now I can clearly see the line art on my previous panel from the layer that has the same name, and I'll be able to draw my characters easily using that as a reference. And that is how you use the onion skin with layers of the same name.
Just keep the same name, click that little thing in the corner, if it even shows it. There it is. And another ripped bit of the sticky note. Materials. What do you have to make sure if you want to use the toggle selected layers only button? If the onion skin is activated, you have to make sure the layers the same name. You have to make sure you have the selected layer. All of the above. 10 points. 10 points. Yes. Editing artwork on multiple panels.
So to edit artwork on multiple
panels, this is not Kim.
You need to make sure that all the panels in question are labeled the same way for the
Damn it,
element
Kim.
you would like to modify. So for example, we're going to modify this little spaceman.
Spaceman.
And all of the layers that he appears on across these 3 panels
have to be named the same.
Is labeled B. So the first thing you need to do is click on the first panel where you would like to make the modification. Then hold down Shift Command if you're using Mac, or Shift Control if you're using Windows. And then click on the last panel in question. Then using the Select tool, select all 3 elements. So what I mean by that is that I know that the spaceman in panel 1 happens to be a bit higher. He actually is higher than what we see in the camera frame. So you have to make sure that the bounding box surrounds him, even though technically speaking you can't see him.
Technically.
You just need to make your modification. So I'm going to move these 3 spacemen further to the right. And then maybe scale them down. And then click somewhere in the stage view in order to deselect them. Now if we go back to panel 1,
they're all there.
And 3, we see that our spaceman is smaller and now more over to the right. Having not selected all 3 characters fully before we made the modification, technically speaking, what I mean by that
Shift
is the
Control.
last panel in question.
Now
then using the Select tool, select all 3 elements. So
all right. I can do that. Let's get rid of these. And let's get rid of, no, I want that one gone. Bye. There we go. Okay, panels. All right, we're gonna name all of them TTY. Titty. That was not on purpose, but it is what it is now. We can all make a joke later. Whoop. Drew a dot. Don't want that. Okay. And now let's go to the, oh, I should have used the brush for all that. Let's go to the brush is there. And now the first panel, I'm going to draw a little guy. I want to be like a jump situation. So let me see here. He's up like this. And yes, because onion skinning is on. And then this is not the right way to do it at all, but he's like that. And the third one. And then I don't need as much onion skinning. I just need there. I can toggle through it. How easy. And then the third one is going to be, let's see, there, character, onion skin, there's no next panel, just the previous one. Okay, then he's up higher in the sky. And what way? Yeah, let's have him go down like that. Okay. So there can shift control there, or control shift. And the select tool, selected all three, move them all over here. All right, got it. Got him. Okay, so we got that part down. Easy. Okay, don't want to look at that. Edit multiple layers across several panels. We must ensure that layers are in the same scene. Layers are visible. Layers share the same name. All the above, because two of them I'm positive on. In order to select multiple layers to be edited, which keys do you have to press to make the selection? Damn. Oh, Alt-Shift. No? I did Control-Shift. I did Control-Shift. Didn't I do Control-Shift? Let's do... Yeah, I did Control-Shift. Who is ever going to do question mark? Oh, I guess if you're left-handed. Something. 10 points. 10 points. No! No! The layers have to have the same name? I thought they... No! Layers are in the same... Okay. I lost points for that one. So it doesn't have to be in the same scene. I have to... Oh, I guess that makes sense. Okay. But then what if I... I'm going to experiment here. Bam, bam. So we have two layers. I'm going to have onion skinning off. This one's just going to be a brush. It's going to be like a squiggly do. That's going to be like a snap-a-do. So we got a snap-a-do, a squiggly do. Then we're going to have... Can I duplicate? I should know if you can duplicate it. Duplicate panel. Okay. There, and then let's move. Yes, let's move the panel. So then let's turn onion skinning on. Shift control. shift control. Why is it? So shift control. Okay. So I think I can't. I think I have to keep. I can't like skip in between parts. So that's just a reference. I had a feeling that's what it was, but I thought to make sure. Come on. Okay. Copying artwork on multiple panels. Oh, I think I was just doing that.
Sometimes you're creating a storyboard and all of a sudden you realize you want to add something to your background, for example. So in this case, I've added this purple rocky structure in the background that exists only for panel 1 of C94, but not in panel 2 and 3. However, as you can imagine, if you have the same background over many, many panels, it could be very annoying to repeatedly paste this one structure.
Oh, I need to know this one. Okay, this one's important.
So there's a quick way that you can resolve this issue. The first thing you need to know is that wherever you would like to make the modification,
yes,
the layer in which you'd like to make the modification must have the same name on all the panels where you would like to copy the modification.
Okay.
So for example, panel 1, 2, and 3 all have a layer called BG_2 in their BG Rocks folder.
BG.
Then what you need to do is have that layer selected in the layer stack. Go to the top menu and select Layer.
Okay.
Copy Layers.
Yes.
And then in the thumbnail view, you have to click on the first panel where you would like the paste. Then hold Shift Command if you're using Mac or Shift Control if you're using Windows.
Control.
And click the last panel where you would like to make the paste. And then go back to the top menu and select Layer, Paste Layer Special. And you may notice that this menu item doesn't exist if you don't have multiple panels selected. So the Paste Layer Special window appears. And what you have to select under Cycle is Once Hold. And then at the bottom, you have to check Override Existing Layers with Same Name. So I'm going to click OK. And as you can see, if we scroll across the panels, this purple structure now exists in all 3 panels.
Okay. Sounds easy enough here. Cycle, once hold, loop, ping pong. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm going to take a picture of that and figure that out later. I don't want to spend too much time on something that may not be used. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Okay. Okay. And question, when will the pay special option appear in the layer top menu? When holding down the Alt, when multiple panels are selected. When pressing down the Alt key, when using the select tool. Apples appear. Hold down. Select the rest of the panels in the series. Multiple panels are selected. That should be it. When pasting a layer called multiple panels, you can override existing panel of the same name, place the layer on top, merge layers. No. Come on, baby. Come on, 10 points. Yes. Activity 2. I'm not doing the activity, but I'm ripping off the sticky notes. All right. Drawing scenes. Your next step. How to draw scenes. Start Storyboard Pro. Oh, I'm not doing this. Oh, this is like a big shoot. I mean, I know how to do this. I know what to do. But yeah, I'm going to skip this. All right, save your project. Which workspace allows you to see multiple rows of thumbnails to get general outlook of on your storyboard? Which workspace allows you to see multiple rows of thumbnails? I think that's the overview workspace. Let me make sure. Hey, I didn't even have to look. I'm getting it. Or thumbnail view. Shoot. Is there a thumbnail view? I don't think there's a thumbnail view. You get... Yeah. There is not a thumbnail view, you son of a bitch. Alright, correct. 10 points, yes. Generate auto matte layers. Oh, God. Oh, it already looks... It already hurts. It hurts just looking at it. Generate auto matte dialog box. It enables you to quickly fill in sketch objects, hiding everything that is behind the object. You can create a new layer by applying generate auto map to selected vector layers. Oh, God. How weird does that already sound? Sounds weird. Oh, almost dropped. Okay, let's erase. Let's erase this guy. Oh, I need a... Yeah. No, I want a bigger eraser. There. Should have gotten a bigger one next time. Okay. Huh? Oh, I was doing the... Alright, there. Just like that. Brush. Okay. So let's draw... Ooh, we're going to draw a character now. Alright. So we got... We're going to... Okay. A little bit of that because we can. Then we'll give him some nipples. Because we can. Or we have to censor them. They must be censored. Okay. And to just make sure things are working out, I'm gonna add a whole bunch of stuff to the background to see and make sure that he has his little matte layer. Okay. Sketch a character in a background story pro. The character need to be filled to hide the drawing behind him. With sketches, use the paint underpaint tool. It's not convenient because some of the holes in the lines of drawings. Use the brush tool with the draw behind option can be time consuming. Having the ability to automate the process speeds up storyboarding. When an auto matte layer is generated, all source layer parameters are copied to the matte layer except the opacity, which is set to 100. Okay, so how to generate layers, auto generate matte. Okay, and select one of the multiple layers in which the matte should be generated to. And then layers, matte color current. Select one of the multiple layers. The menu is grayed out if there's no selected layers. You may see multiple layers in one panel. The menu is select one or multiple layers. So I'm I'm selecting one. I'm going to make it yellow because that's what the example is showing me. And then I go here. And then I go, this is where I have to do the funky there. Layer. Auto generate matte. Radius 200. Select the required settings. Generate auto matte dialog box. Select the required settings. See. Mayday. Oh man. It won't even show me. Right, I'm gonna experiment here. Matte color, create matte on new layer. Select, so let's do. Hey, look at that. That was pretty good, basically there. Okay. Let's do it now, where I make the radius a lot smaller. Generate auto matte. Let's make it 50. Okay, so the radius, the lower it is, the less it's going to show. Okay, auto generate matte. Create matte on new layer. I'll make this 100. And then it's just gonna bam right on top of it. Perfect. I have mastered your tools. If a matte layer already exists, the dialog will give you the following options: replace matte, keep both, or cancel. If this happens for multiple layers, selecting the apply all to the chat box. I'm sorry. I'm not yawning, you're yawning. I'm not yawning, you're yawning. You're the one yawning. If this happens to multiple layers, selecting the apply to all text box enables you to apply the decision to all layers without being prompted during the matte generator. Matte already exists. If a matte layer already exists, okay. Let me do it again. Let me see if it's like a special layer. Okay, layer. Generate auto map. Okay. So there's one. Now I do it again. Current custom. Okay. Okay, so there is two mats. You want to replace. If I keep both. Okay. I'm getting it. I'm feeling book smart, people. Don't you love when you feel book smart? I do. I start to feel special. Alright, rename delete layers. I'm going to look up delete layer shortcut. Here we go. Let's go to Google. Delete. DLETE. Delete layer. Tune. Boom. Storyboard Pro. Shortcut. Layers. Story Pro. Okay, move layers. Delete a layer. Oh, I wonder if I can make it my own if I could make it my own shortcut. Okay, edit. Let's see. Keyboard shortcuts. Layer. Delete layer. Ooh, is there not? Okay, delete layer. should... I wonder... Panels, delete layer. What key should it be? Not control. I don't want to double down. Should it just be the... It's the dropper tool. No. Control D? Is that not going to do it? Shift D? Clear. Control D? There. Yes. Okay. Let's see here. We ready? Control D. Damn! All right. So let me see here. How am I going to use a sticky note for that? I think I'm going to use pink because I don't want to get too... I don't want to get too much. Should it be yellow? What other thing is delete on here? Want it to be a brighter color, not a blue. A pink, a yellow. A yellow. A purple. Should it be a pink? The choices are too much for me to handle. This boy, it's too much for me to handle. I think it'll be an X. Is it yellow? Can't be green. Can't be green. Let's do a yellow. And then I'm gonna have it. Where's the reference? There's the reference. Okay, I got a little reference. What would we call it? I can't think of the word we would call it. It's like a special, like I taped it both ways so I can use it as a reference for the top of my keyboard. Can't think of it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, everybody. But now I gotta make sure my keyboard isn't getting too colorful. Now, how do I draw this? What would I draw to say delete layer? Maybe I do an X. Then I make it thin to make it seem like a layer, like an onion. Then I put it under the D. Gonna look at that. And I'm gonna see if my eyes will make sense of that. And if they do, it's a good day. If they don't, back to the drawing board. I'm gonna move on. I don't want to make my board too colorful. Let's see here. Okay, there. Let's hope the D key doesn't do anything. Okay, good. Unless hopefully it didn't. Nope, didn't stop the streaming. Yeah, I knew this was gonna be a quiet one. Cause what's today? Saturday? Yeah, Saturday you guys are going to the fancy streams. You're going to the fancy streams, but I do enjoy if you popped in, looked at it, walked away. That's all right. Works for me. So yeah, now I have a delete layer. So I have on my keyboard, I'll take a picture of it later. I have my undo key. I have my control key with something. I have my alt key with the onion skin layer. My D key has the delete layer. My E key above it, so maybe that works out. My E key above it is a merge down. My A and F both have little arrows pointing outward. Next panel, previous panel. 1 and 2 has a small square and a big square, zooming in, zooming out. Corner left has a big, bright pink sticky note with a little arrow in the middle. That's for playing the scenes. Hello, everyone. I'm not sure how many people are here on a Saturday night looking at me streaming how to stream my storyboard stuff. Let's see here. 4. I'm very surprised in a good way. In a good way. I'm hoping people get, if anything, it would be fantastic if people got something out of this that are interested in like storyboards and animation. I can't say I'm the best at drawing at this point, but I'm trying my best to learn as much of the storyboard in and out process as I possibly can. So that is where I am right now. And now I did, and then I have my delete key as my delete key. That is blue with DEL. I did a shift has an upward arrow, and then the enter has selected. I'm not sure what I meant by that. Let's see here. Let's go here. Let's see. Let's do a bunch of panels. Shift, enter. What does enter do? What does shift enter do? I put little sticky note stuff on it. That's a problem. That's a problem. Shift play selected. Shift, let me see here. Shift. Let me see. Let's do a stupid drawing on each one. So there. 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 Okay, now the timeline. Let's move all the way back. Shift. Select. What does the enter key do? Here. Toon Boom, Storyboard Pro, enter key. What was the enter? Select, delete layers, no. Storyboard, Toon Boom, Storyboard Pro, enter key. What is enter? Brush. Let me look at where Windows and Mac OS. Let's go down the list. Let's find the enter key. Where is it? Alt Shift Backspace Delete. Come on. Where are you, enter? Where are you? Come on. Nope, not home. Not end. Shift and enter. Play selected. Okay. So let's start all the way back here. Oh, and we'll click play. Okay, I got that. So shift. Play selection. And then where play navigation. Play navigation. I don't know. Play selection. What is play What does play selection mean? To move Storyboard Pro, play selection. Okay. Play selection plays back a selection of panels. Select play selection. Let's see, that's what I thought I did. To move animation using selection tool. Play selection. Well, I have it on here. So let's see. That's here to here. Let's see. I think I got it. Okay, I got it. Oh, yeah, okay. It's the same color as my normal play button. All right, I'm back in the game. And another sticky note piece. I got 3 more sticky note pieces left. I don't know for me if that is I should go with the storyboard the snowboarding game or not. I'd create shortcut key, generate automat. What is automat layers? Will the automat layers you generate be animated if the layers they reference were animated? What does that mean? Automat layer, source layer, copy layer, mat layer. Mat layer already exists, both. I'm writing yes, even though I don't know. What happens if you generate automat layers or you have mats? Cancel, keep there. Come on. Yes. I actually don't really know what that first question meant, but oh, down to 2 sticky notes or little rips.
My name's Kim, and I'm an illustrator /
Kim.
from South Africa.
I love it when it's Kim.
And in this video, I'm going to be showing you some of the features in Storyboard Pro, specifically the Generate Automat feature.
Kim's the best. Wait, I thought I just...
Storyboard, it's a ranger in a park.
Wait, I thought we just did this.
The default is 200. So if you click on this white box, you'll see... Okay.
We just did this.
To actually fill more than one panel with your Generate Automat. Just make sure that the right layer is selected. In this case, we want to fill all of the layers that have the letter B on them, and these are our character layers. Make sure that they're named the same throughout your panels. Then I'm going to select the first panel in my selection. Then I'm going to hold down... I
thought we just did that. I don't know. If the color of the automat panel is changed, the other panels within the same scene... No. Come on, baby. Yay. There's another one. I have only 1 more sticky note left for my day. So I can keep going, or I can play the snowboarding. Animatic. Let's see, how long is this? 4 hours. Fuck. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of that one since this is a new day. So let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Alright, I'm gonna rip off 25 parts. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna see if I can. Actually, I'm gonna take scissors and make this look a little bit more neat. And if you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm slicing sticky notes into, and this actually has helped me out a lot. I don't know if anybody out there, like if you're working on exams or homework or something where you have to make tiny goals. Like, I don't know how old some of you guys are. I mean, you could be engineers or something. But like, let's pretend you have to write, well, simplest. Let's pretend you have to do like 100 math problems or something. If you take like a sticky note and you cut it up, and you can say like you kind of put it along the edge of your desk, you can say like, I'm gonna rip one off after every 2 problems, or after every problem, or after 5 problems. Or if you're like writing a book report, you can go by maybe paragraphs, by like after I, or like, well, pages might be a little bit much, or like you can put the sticky notes. If you're doing like a fancy term paper with references, you could put the sticky notes as references that you're using, and every time you use that reference officially, you can pull off a sticky note. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's just me, because me physically seeing something decrease helps me out a lot. Like, if I need the small goals to add up, I can't just say, okay, do that 4-hour module. I need to do like, okay, you have 25 parts of that module. We're gonna put down 25 little strips of sticky note paper. We're gonna see how many you can tear off. I did hear, and it's almost impossible, but I get it. We all want like the grade at the end, or whatever we're doing for like a resume. But they say try your very best to make the actual doing of it the reward instead of completing it. They said something about dopamine. If you just look at the end result and not the stuff you're doing, it makes it seem like a lot tougher to deal with. So when I do these, I know this is different because it's kind of the artsy world almost, that I'm trying my very best. Like, talking about auto map layers, I'm trying to tell myself like, this is the reward of doing this. This is the reward you're getting right now, is being able to learn about auto generating maps. And it's hard, and I'm not good at it, but if I get in the zone of doing it, it makes it go so faster. It makes it, while you're, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, I'm gonna turn this on just to play something so you guys have something to hear.
To change a panel duration in the timeline view, both in frames and in seconds. So the first way is to go to the panel
Gotta do 25.
In the duration field, you can see the current duration of the panel. So we know that it lasts for 30 frames, which is roughly 1.6 seconds, as this project is probably timed at 24 frames per second. So if we click in the field,
24 frames a second, almost always.
In a new value and hitting enter. And immediately we saw that this light gray selected panel increased in length, and all the subsequent panels were shifted down. You can also use the little arrows beside the time to change the duration as well. And of course, the duration in frames is updated just beside. Another way that you can change the duration is directly in the timeline view. If you bring your cursor down and hover between 2 panels, you'll notice that a double-headed arrow appears. You can then use it to click and drag between 2 panels to either shorten or lengthen that panel. And you'll notice that a black field appears with the current duration of the panel in seconds, as well as the difference between its current duration and its previous duration. So it's now 17 frames longer than
cut 5 more. Ready. We got
and this can work in the negative as well. However, if you find that you'd like to change the duration of a panel without affecting all of the other subsequent panels in your storyboard, you can do this by once again hovering your mouse on the line between two panels, but this time holding down the Alt button. And now as you drag, the only panel that you're going to affect is the panel directly after. So it will shorten or lengthen depending
Let's see, I'm
if you
gonna
increase or
count
decrease
these bad boys out, see if I can get to 25. I think I'm at 25 right now. So here we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Looks like a piano almost. I don't know how many keys are in a piano, but I want to offer a promotion of your channel, viewers, followers, chatbots. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed. Credible, flexible,
No, God! No, God, please, no!
No. 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 All right, Moon Ghost, you're a mod. Find a way to knock it out. Why would I want that? Viewers, followers, why would I want chatbots? I don't get it. I don't get why people do that. Obviously, there's enough people that do it where they make bots that do this. It's kind of sad, you know? Like, of course, people want to be popular, but I would feel worse if I knew I'm, like, buying fake followers. I don't know. I'm lucky. I'm not old, but I'm lucky enough to not be in high school right now. Very, very fortunate that it seems like more and more it's almost like a competition on views and likes, and I mean it even affects me a little bit at times, and it shouldn't at all, but it does, so I can only imagine how it is now. But I did not listen to this video. I gotta listen to it again.
So there are several ways to change a panel duration.
This is not Kim.
View, both in frames and in seconds. So the first way is to go to the panel view.
Right, I know this.
Duration field. You can see the current duration of the panel. So
right.
We know that it lasts for 30 frames, which is roughly 1.6 seconds. As this project is probably timed at 24 frames per second.
Right, it should always.
If we click in the field, we can change the time by typing in
or using the arrows.
And immediately we saw that this light gray selected panel increased in length, and all the subsequent panels were shifted down.
Correct.
You can also use a little arrows beside the time to change the duration as well. And of course, the duration in frames is updated just beside. Another way that you can change the duration is directly in the timeline view. If you bring your cursor down and hover between two panels, you'll notice that a double-headed arrow appears. You can then use it to click and drag between two panels to either shorten or lengthen that panel. And you'll notice that a black field appears with the current duration of the panel in seconds, as well as the difference between its current duration and its previous duration.
Ooh.
So it's now 17 frames longer than it was.
Tomorrow, so I don't know, Moon Ghost, if you're still here. Tomorrow I'm doing the 100th game anniversary. I'm going to make, I might write everybody on Twitch or my Twitter, because it's, I don't know, it's very interesting and important to me, at least, since I've done this just short of a little bit, almost about a year and a few weeks. And during that time, I've played 100 different video games, not 100 days of video games, but 100 different ones, which is crazy to me mentally on how many. So it's going to be a celebration, and then it'll go back to Resident Evil. Resident Evil is going to get beat. I swear to God. I swear.
This can work in the negative as well. However, if you find that you'd like to change the duration of a panel without affecting all of the other subsequent panels in your storyboard, you can do this by once again hovering your mouse on the line between two panels, but this time holding down the Alt button. And now as you drag, the only panel that you're going to affect is the panel directly after.
Oh.
So it will shorten or lengthen depending if you increase or decrease the duration of your selected panel.
Okay. I gotta remember that somehow. So let's see here. Let's test that out. So I got a whole bunch of different frames. Okay. Let's look at this one. Let's look at the panels, duration. We got that. Let's go right here. This is adding time. Should add frames. Yep, and it adds frames. Now let's hold down Alt. Oh man. Nice. That's important. That's something I gotta remember. That's a big deal. I'm gonna. Should I write that down? I'll try to remember it. Pulling with Alt on timeline. Remember. Okay. Kind of going sticky note crazy lately. There's sticky notes everywhere. Okay. Pulled off a tiny little guy. When you change the duration of a panel, what are the following numbers represent? 12. I don't think that's 12 hours, 54 minutes, and 8 seconds. That's what I think it is. I'm scared. I'm scared. Or is it 12? Let me see. Let's play it out. Or let's see. Yeah, I think that's... Is that 10? 10 frames duration? No. Okay, that's 8. It's not 8 frames per second. 12 minutes and 8 milliseconds. It's not minutes. That next part, or 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't see another dot. All right, so if I keep going, it's not frames. It's either seconds, frames, or milliseconds. I don't believe... frames or milliseconds. Oh god, it's 50-50. I don't think it's... Seconds. How much How much is a millisecond? How much is a... How long is a millisecond? Let's see here. 1,000. All right, I'm going with the frames. I'm afraid. Yes. Yes. Awesome. Okay. Now, another little sticky note guy. Change panel duration. There are two ways to resize the panel depending on... Let me see. Shall I have to go back to... No, I don't have to go back to it. Two ways to resize the panel depending on how you want to change to affect the subsequent. I know what it means. I can't say it. You can resize the panel in a timeline view and shift over all the... we just did this. Okay, an accurate way of setting the duration of a panel is the panel view. Duration of selected panel. Let's see. Let's... Is it gonna let me pull this down? Is it not gonna let me pull it down? There. There. Okay. In, out duration. Duration of select panel. Display selection. Yeah, okay. I got that. In, out duration. An accurate way, you can use the add frame panel or remove frame panel command Storyboard Pro menu to adjust the length of selected panel frame by frame. Timeline or thumbnail view, select a panel. The duration. See, like right now my brain is like, you don't have to do this. Play the snowboarding game. Don't worry about this right now. You can do this later. And then my mind is like, come on, man. You gotta do more of this. Don't do this to yourself. Right now I'm in that battle. And I'm losing. Because right now it's just all numbers. In the timeline, thumbnail view, select a panel. In the duration field of... Let's start here. I'm going to do it by... Okay, this is sequence 1. So I start at 0. I'm out at the 23 frame. I'm in at frame 0. I'm out at 23. Duration is a second. Okay. In on frame 24. 41 seconds. Oh, did I... Okay. So the frame it starts, the frame it ends, the time it ends. So this ends right at the 1 out duration. See, that's the part that always messes me up right when I'll take another photo. I'll take another photo here. Always kind of... The in, out... Let's see. Yeah, the in-out thing always screws me up. That's what she said. Okay. I mean, I get it, but it's like... I wish I could explain it better. Because duration is 1 second. the out, it starts at 0. So if 0 is a frame plus 23. So let's experiment with the next one. Ends at 1, out at 2. Oh, shoot. That guy is the weird guy. Okay. So now let's go to 1. So I'm guessing like the 0, 0 is considered the frame, 24 frames. Like frame 0. I don't know. I'm going to move on from that. I mean, I get it, but like at the same time, I'm having issues. Okay. Add a frame. Oh, let's see here. I think I know this one. So let's see. The duration is 24. Okay, for some reason I need shift for the plus and not for the minus. All right, that's something I'm going to change in shortcut. Okay, so add frame, search, frame. Let's have add. Let's do add. Add caption. Add frame, is it? Add frame. Okay. Add frame. It will be the equal sign because it's right there. Bam. Okay. And then click OK. So now, oh, that's easier. Let's see how I can represent maybe the painter's tape? Add frame, take away frame. I have purple. Maybe purple, because the other one I am taking away stuff. So there we go. Purple. Did I use purple anywhere else? No, I did not. All right, so purple sticky note. We got this going. And yes, I hope everyone's having, today is Saturday. Tomorrow I am seeing my cousin play in an official orchestra, not like a rinky-dink one, on a play version of Elf, which I am. It'll be interesting. I have no idea what to expect. None. I just don't know. I have no idea what is going to go down with that. And I mean, he's really excited. The grandparents are excited. So I'm excited. I'm excited for him. I just know I can't, like, oh shit. Got it in between the keys. I got the sticky note in between the keys. Come on, there's a Come on, I gotta pop the key out. Come on. Come on. Or pop the backspace out. Hopefully not. Damn it. I know there's a special tool to do this. What was that? Maybe I should just leave it for now. I can't screw this one up. I'm using the... Okay, I got that one. I think my OCD, I don't have OCD, but I think I'll be able to handle a little piece of that in the keyboard. I think eventually I will get a new keyboard, but today is not that day. Now let's try round 2. Round 2, come on. Here we go. I think we're almost... Rotate it just a little bit. There. Almost. I don't have the steadiest of hands. So... There. And... There. Got it. Got it. Okay. My keyboard looks weird. But that's okay. All right, how do you trade times between trade times? Just frame by frame. Resize a panel with only affecting the other. How to resize the timeline. How to set panel duration. How do I trade times between 2 panels without changing the length of your project? Oh, Alt. 10 points. There. And I know you can't hear it. I'm trying to dramatically pull off a little piece of sticky note. Okay, about the camera. In the stage view, it's behind this. The camera is displayed as a frame that matches the aspect ratio of your chosen resolution. Resolution, yeah. I want to say revolution. You can enhance your animatics by adding camera movements to the scene. You can restrict the camera movements to one panel or spread them across the entire scene or shot. An example of a camera movement would be if you want to go from a wide shot and then zoom in for a close-up. Camera movements are created much the same way as a static... Camera movements are created in much the same way as setting the static camera frame. But you will need to work with keyframes of the timeline view set different camera positions over time. Once again, you will use the camera tool to animate the camera. It makes sense. In this example, so I think green starts green, and then ends red. If only there's a checkbox that confirms I'm done with it. Here it is. Yay. Oh, another sticky note. I want to see if I don't know if I can crush through all these. All right, about camera moves.
When dealing with camera motion in Storyboard Pro, you have to be sure that you're in the camera view. So up until now, we've been working primarily in the stage view, but for working with the camera, you need to be in the camera view. If you don't see the camera view, you can go to this plus.
Okay, let's see. I need this. I need the camera view. There. Okay. We got it, not Kim.
Icon at the corner of the stage view and select camera view. Or you can go to the top menu and select Windows, Camera View.
Okay.
Another view that we'll be using a lot of is the timeline view. So once again, if
Yeah,
you
we got that.
you can bring
We
it up
got
in
the
same
timeline view.
So I'm going to go to the motion toolbar and click on the camera tool. And then I'm going to go to the tool properties panel and click on the add keyframe button. Then I'm going to go back to the timeline, drag the playhead across to a random frame, and then click on the add keyframe button again. So to create any camera motion, you need at least 2 keyframes, a start frame and an end frame. So with the end frame selected, what I'm going to do is hover my cursor close to this blue square box at the top left-hand corner of the second camera frame. And you'll see that there's a variety of different cursors that appear. So the first one is the 4-headed arrow, which is used to reposition the camera frame. So if I click on this and then drag my second camera frame towards the top left-hand side, you'll see that it's moved in that direction. You'll also notice that pale blue arrows have appeared that let me know that the camera is going to move from this position, which is what we created on the first keyframe,
to the other
this
one.
position, which is what we established for the second keyframe. So I'm going to undo that. Another thing you can do is hold down the shift key to lock the movement to one axis. This is great for creating pans, whether you're going to pan the camera across or pan it up and down. Next, you'll see the cursor for rotation. Don't get it confused with the cursor for XY rotation because that rotates on the 3D plane.
Whoa!
So if we bring up just the regular rotation cursor, you
Dutch
can rotate
angle.
the camera any which way. And once again,
did you see the other one? My God, it was like 3D space.
In, I believe, what is 15-degree increments. Lastly, you have this double diamond cursor, and what this does is it actually moves your frame along the Z-axis. So, in other words, it creates a truck in or a truck out. So in this case, we're trucking out. And if you'd like to see your motion, you can always grab the red playhead in the timeline view and move back and forth like that. You can even put on the camera mask.
Let's do it. Where's our goofy guy? Do we have a goofy guy? Oh my goodness. We don't have a goofy guy. Delete, delete, delete. Let's erase. Let's make there even bigger. Okay. So a goofy guy. Goofy guy, color black. All right. What a goofy guy look like. I want to start. Let's see if I can make. Looking around. I see Sonic. I got like a little Mochi plush that basically looks like that. Okay, and this is the camera view. Then I can click the one. Perfect. Okay, and then select. I gotta go back and see.
You can go to this plus icon at the corner of the stage view and select camera view. Or you can go to the top menu and select Windows, camera view.
Okay, we got that.
Another view that we'll be using a lot of is the timeline view.
Yeah, we got that.
You can bring it up in the same and click on the camera tool.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go to the tool.
Okay. Camera tool. It's gonna be one of the ones they're kind of all spastically put around. There we go. There he is. Camera tool. Reframe camera. Okay. And then we have the add a keyframe. Let's see what this one is. add keyframe at the end of the current panel. Oh, add keyframe at current frame. And then let's add one, and then let's take it away. Okay. Cool. So the first one is going to be where it is. And then the second one. Okay, so it can be there. So let's see it. I know that doesn't look too exciting. I wonder why is it stopping there? Is that just let's delete. Let's just delete. Okay, there's one. Want to delete him. I want him to go reset camera. There. Okay, keyframe there. Keyframe there. First one as it is. Second one. I'm going to hold down shift and move to the side. And then here we go. Okay. Pretty easy, I say. Okay, second key. So that's going to turn that. Okay. Let's get the weird one. Oh, that's trucking in, trucking out. So that's, yep. Okay. Now what's the, where is the weird? I thought she had like a cool one that made it
Properties panel.
go.
To create any camera motion, my second camera motion, which is what we established for the second keyframe. So I'm going to undo that. Another thing you can do is hold down the shift key to lock the movement to one axis. And this is great for creating pans, whether you're going to pan
Okay, we got
or
that.
pan it up and down. Next, you'll see the cursor for rotation. Don't get it confused with the cursor for XY rotation because that rotates on the 3D plane. So
What's the cursor for XY rotation? Okay. Second. No. I'm going to write that down. 3D XY rotation. All right. Okay. We got that new sticky note down there. Okay. If you want to create a truck, use the default keyframes if you want to create a truck in or truck out. I got that. Light blue arrows. To change position of your camera, you need to set a keyframe on it. Yes. No. No. Because I only get 5 instead of 10. And you can't go back.
So there are several ways to add keyframes to the camera. So with the camera tool selected from the motion toolbar, you can either go to the top menu and select camera, add camera keyframe at current frame. And as you can see, a keyframe appears along the camera row, which is just above the frame's thumbnails in the timeline view. And you'll also notice that a blue bounding box appeared in the camera view. Another way to add a keyframe, and I'm just going to drag the playhead across so that it appears on a different frame,
Okay,
is by
yes.
clicking on the Add Keyframe button in the Tool Properties panel.
Wait, what was the first one
Other
then?
keyframes,
Wait.
which frame are, you
Oh.
can either go to the top menu and select camera,
And
add
people,
camera keyframe at current frame.
That's always difficult when
And as
they
you can see, a keyframe
use
appears
that
along
top.
the camera row, which is just above the frame's thumbnails in the timeline view. And you'll also notice that a blue bounding box appeared in the camera view. Another way to add a keyframe
is add keyframe
I'm
on the
just going to drag
side.
the playhead across so that it appears on a different frame, is by clicking on the Add Keyframe button in the Tool Properties panel. Other keyframes that you can add are keyframes at the start of the panel, as well as a keyframe at the end of the current panel. And that way you don't have to fuss around with the playhead and try to make sure that's exactly either at the start or at the end.
Okay,
Once again,
good.
both of these options also exist in the camera menu at the top. So there's Add Camera Keyframe at beginning
I
of
want
the panel
X,
and end of the
Y.
panel. And the reason that they're grayed out is because those keyframes
I want the 3D thing. How do we get to it?
It's easy to move keyframes, and you can do this by selecting a keyframe from the camera row in the timeline, and you can tell it's selected because it's highlighted in blue, and you can just pull it and drag it across to reposition it to a different frame. You can also delete it just by hitting the delete key, or you can select a keyframe and go to the delete keyframe button in the Tool Properties panel for the camera.
Who is going to do that?
Or once again, you can go to the top menu and select camera, remove selected camera keyframes.
Oh my god, who would do that?
Another thing that you can do is with a keyframe selected, you can click on this button right here, go to selected keyframe, and once again that's easier than fidgeting around with the playhead to make sure that you're exactly on the selected keyframe. So the reason that the camera frame now appears in green is because it belongs to the keyframe at the start of the panel. And if we create a keyframe once again, at the end of our panel, you see that the bounding box is changed to red, and that's because it indicates that that's the last keyframe. So for any keyframe created between the start and end keyframes, the camera frame will appear in blue. So let's go to the last keyframe and make a camera move. So I'm going to make another truck out.
Okay, let's see.
Your start frame highlighted in green, your stop frame highlighted in red, the arrows indicating which direction the camera is moving from the start frame to the stop frame. And if you find that you've done too many crazy things to your frame and you just want to reset it back to where it was, you can click on this button here, Reset Keyframe. In addition to being able to change the position of the camera frame in the camera view, you can also enter precise values in these fields for the selected keyframe.
Okay. Oh, okay, I get it, I get it. I get it now. Look how sad he looks. Got the truck in, I got the rotate, I got the move. Camera is animated using camera tool. Camera tool camera. Camera set in a 2D project can move X, Y, rotate, move all three, rotate all, move X, Y axis, rotate and X, move all three axis, rotate, not rotate X, move axis only, rotate in all, move in all three axis, rotate in, oh god. It's not the last one. Rotate, which I gotta see what it considers the X. Is it not gonna tell me? This might be a guessing game here. Move XY axis only, rotates, not that one. Could be 3. I don't think it is. Rotate and I thought Y was up. What is it considering up? Rotate, move X, Y. It's not that. It's not that. I'm going to go with that, even though I think it's wrong. Oh. Okay, so I need to figure out their version of X, Y, Z. What their X, Y, Z is. Okay. And then popped off another sticky note. Copy and pasting the camera.
So as you can see, the position of my first frame, which is indicated by this green rectangle, as the keyframe was placed on the very first frame.
And then the red one is the
has
last.
moved quite a bit by the time it gets to the second frame, which is indicated by this red rectangle.
Cool.
And in fact, if we click on the second keyframe and look at the tool properties panel for that keyframe, we can see that there's been a movement on the vertical and horizontal axes, as well as along the Z axis. So there was a truck in, as well as for the camera angle. So instead of recreating this entire camera movement for another panel, we can copy these keyframes quickly and paste them on another panel.
Don't just say
With this
copy
panel
and
selected,
paste.
and it's selected just by virtue of having the playhead somewhere on this panel, you can click on this icon here in the tool properties panel, the copy camera from selected panels, or you can go to the top menu and select camera, copy camera from selected panels.
The whole thing.
And you can move your playhead across to select a different panel and click on the button right beside, which is the paste and fit camera on selected panels button, or you can go back to the top menu and select camera, paste and fit camera on selected panels. And as you can see, the two keyframes have been pasted. And if we scroll the playhead back and across, we can see that the camera motion has been pasted on this panel.
Okay, I got a little lost there. All right. I think I'm gonna end the stream a little bit early. I'm sorry for that. I'm just for some reason I am kind of lost focus. I'm a little bit tired. I know I should keep pushing through, but especially when you're learning something new, I'm going to forget all of it. You know, if I just kind of schlub through it without really soaking it all in, you know what I mean? So tomorrow is going to be normal time. It's going to be my 100th game anniversary, so please come and see it. It'll be interesting. I don't think I'll get emotional, but it'll be the game is somewhat deep on top of it, so I think a combination of the game being deep and me realizing I've played 100 games already on here and how many people I've met, I think it's going to be a weird combination of happiness. So I am going to see you tomorrow, and you guys are the best people out there. You are, and you know it. That's the good thing, though. At least you're humble, but you know it at least. You know that you guys are the best. So then we will see you tomorrow. All right, take care here. You're the best. Love you all. All right. Yep. All right, we'll see you tomorrow here. Bye.